The lecture hall fell silent as Professor Zelthor's holographic display flickered to life. 300 students from 47 different species leaned forward in their seats, their various appendages poised over data tablets. The Galactic Military Academy's Advanced Warfare History course was legendary for its difficulty, and today's lesson promised to be particularly challenging. Today, Zelthor announced, his mandibles clicking with satisfaction, we study the most dangerous warlords of the pre-integration era. These beings shaped entire quadrants, through nothing but primitive weapons and tactical genius. The first hologram materialized a towering Krillian battlemaster, its forearms gripping plasma scythes. Students nodded knowingly. Everyone studied the Krillian expansion. The second image showed a Valkyrian hivemind coordinator, notorious for conquering 17 systems before the formation of the Galactic Council. Then came the third image. The hologram showed a human male, elderly by their species standards, with silver hair and deep wrinkles around his eyes. He wore no armor, no weapons were visible. He sat in a simple chair, hands folded with what humans called a smile on his weathered face. Behind him hung a faded banner with strange symbols. Confused murmurs rippled through the class. Several students exchanged puzzled glances. This, Professor Zelthor continued, his vocal sacs swelling with academic pride, is one of humanity's most enigmatic warlords. Active during their late colonial era, this individual commanded forces across multiple continents. Intelligence reports suggest he was responsible for destabilizing 3 major governments and… Professor? A clear voice cut through the lecture. All eyes turned to the back row where Corporal Maya Chen sat. She was one of only 5 humans in the entire academy, and she'd maintained a flawless academic record for 2 years. Her hand was raised, but something was different about her expression. She was smiling, not the polite diplomatic smile humans used in formal settings, but something genuine and warm. Yes, Corporal Chen? Zelthor's translator carried a note of irritation. Interruptions were uncommon in his class. With respect, sir, that's my grandfather. The lecture hall erupted. Students swiveled in their seats, their various forms of excited chatter creating a cacophony of chirps, clicks, and synthesized speech. Professor Zelthor's photoreceptors dilated in what his species expressed as shock. That is impossible, he stammered. Our intelligence clearly identifies this individual as a warlord of significant… That's Colonel James Chen, sir. Retired. He lives in Sacramento and grows tomatoes. Maya's smile widened. He's 78 years old. The professor's scales flushed a deep purple. Embarrassment. The Galactic Intelligence Database specifically categorizes him as a military advisor, yes, sir. He taught at West Point for 30 years. That banner behind him? It's from the Academy. Those symbols are his service medals. Maya stood, her data tablet in hand, and walked down the aisle toward the hologram. The other students parted like water, their curiosity overriding their usual decorum. May I, Professor? Zelthor gestured weakly with one manipulator. This was unprecedented. Maya interfaced her tablet with the lecture hall system. New images appeared beside her grandfather's hologram. Pictures of the same man at family gatherings holding a small human child, standing in a garden, receiving an award from other elderly humans. Grandfather Chen did serve in 2 conflicts, Maya explained, her voice carrying to every corner of the hall. But his real legacy was education. He taught military strategy, yes, but he taught it to prevent wars, not start them. Those destabilized governments your database mentions, those were strategic analysis papers he wrote for his students. Theoretical scenarios. A Draxian student in the 3rd row raised a tentacle, but the intelligence reports showed troop movements, weapon deployments. War games, sir. Training exercises. Humans do them regularly. We simulate conflicts to prepare for real ones, hoping we never have to actually fight. Professor Zelthor slowly lowered himself into his teaching platform, a gesture of humility rare for his species. Corporal Chen, are you suggesting that the Galactic Intelligence Database has misidentified a human educator as a warlord? I'm suggesting, sir, that humans might look different through an alien lens. Maya's expression softened. Grandfather Chen commanded respect through wisdom, not fear. He influenced leaders by teaching them to think, not by forcing them to obey. To your analysts studying Earth from orbit, watching information flow from his lectures to military academies across the planet, I can see how it might look like. Something else. The room had gone completely silent again, but this silence was different, thoughtful, contemplative. The real lesson here, Maya continued, turning to address her fellow students, isn't about ancient warlords. It's about understanding context. Every species brings their own framework to interpretation. What looks like conquest to a Krillian might be education to a human. What seems like weapons deployment might be preparation for peace. She looked back at her grandfather's image, her eyes glistening slightly. He always said the best warriors are the ones who never have to fight. He spent 50 years teaching young humans that victory isn't about domination. It's about understanding your adversary well enough that conflict becomes unnecessary. Professor Zelthor rose slowly, his mandibles working in the gesture his species used for deep consideration. Corporal Chen, would your grandfather be willing to speak to this class? Our understanding of human military philosophy appears to have significant gaps. Maya's smile returned, brighter than before. He'd love that, Professor. Though I should warn you, he'll probably bring cookies. It's what grandpas do. As the class dissolved into excited chatter about the upcoming guest lecture, Professor Zelthor updated his lesson plan. Next to the image of Colonel James Chen, he added a new notation: Human Warlord, correction, Human Warrior Scholar. Weapon of choice, knowledge. Casualty count, 0, victories immeasurable. The lesson, it turned out, wasn't about identifying ancient warlords at all. It was about recognizing that humanity's greatest strength had never been their capacity for destruction. It was their gift for transformation, for turning the art of war into the science of peace, one student at a time. And somewhere in Sacramento, an elderly man smiled at his tomato plants, unaware that his reputation as a galactic warlord had just been thoroughly, lovingly dismantled by his proudest achievement, his granddaughter.